channel of food processing industries. So they want to strengthen food. This will come handy to the various subcommittees. Then ensuring remunerative prices, because otherwise people will not have any stake in the food processing sector. Then they have also identified challenges before us, constraints before the food processing sector in Haryana, and they have gone about the food processing policy. They want to develop infrastructure, that is their policy goal. They want to focus on marketing and value addition. They want to establish cold chain. I wish Mr. Vilas Mangi could have been here because he is knowledgeable about this. And they are sure to get the support from National Horticulture Board. They are going to focus on post-harvest management. They are going to promote rural industrialization. That is the point which I wanted to discuss with JIDC, that actually it has to be your rural industrialization in Betul, Pittor. People should see that, okay, you are helping them for industrialization for their benefit of their own villages. Then generating employment opportunities. So government will support agro-processing units in rural areas for generating employment opportunities, proper packaging facilities. We are very slow in this regard. So they have spoken about various developments, vacuum packaging, map cap edible film coatings, thermoform packs, in-plate cans, lightweight glass containers. Then policy framework. This is very interesting because that is what we discussed in the last meeting. Capacity building of NGOs. I think NGOs have a very important role to play in Goa also in food processing industries. So we have to provide them incentives. NGO in Haryana will be provided under the policy all possible financial and administrative support to revolutionize food sector. And they are saying this Panchayati Raj system will be involved for greater economic development and infrastructure building at the grassroots level. They are not ignored panchayats. They are not only speaking of the welfare of multinationals there. They are also taking care of the grassroots level. This is very important message that you get from Haryana policy. This is what I said just now, that streamlining taxation structure. People who are already there in food processing sector may think that they have the burden of taxes, so they need some concessions. So IT, this is also very important because the markets today are very much networked and they are influenced by sudden developments and they crash or they have also the best of the period. So all this is possible due to the developments in information technology. So IT input has to be there in food processing policy also. This is an area which this committee has not so far touched because we are a small state and we decided, okay, we cannot go into legal aspects because we do not have that much time to look at the harmonization of food laws, but this I would separately discuss with Mr. Benji because my major concern is food safety. So food safety committee is already doing its work and they would be involved in this and have a look at what Haryana government has done. And they have enforcement agencies, basically FDA in Goa, and they have also roped in this state government will work in close coordination with APIDA, MPD, CFTRI, HP, and we also have to follow the same line. So you see there are so many common points that state of Goa could learn from a large developed state like Haryana, that it really means we don't have to do actually a lot of means duplication. Now food processing, this Bihar also I would quickly go into this. They have done all this work. You see this factors critical to successful food processing industry vision document. They have come out for food processing in Bihar, strategy and action plan, cluster approach, short-term interventions, long-term interventions, create a directorate of food processing, engaging a program management agency, identifying potential food processing clusters, policy, food grains, interventions, then implementation strategy. It's a very structured report and then they give financial outlays and they have also done a case study of rice mill cluster in Kerala. So we have these type of models to follow, and West Bengal is the latest one and one of the better one in the sense a Marxist government is ruling West Bengal and naturally they would like to have a level of social equity and equality. That is what is expected when a Marxist government rules, and they would rather means instead of focusing only in one area, they want to go to MSME, household industry and all, and that is precisely the job that is envisaged in this. First they speak about their strengths, then they justify the need for policy, This is their policy statement. You see how they have put up this, the goals or policy aims. Augment export, produce and supply safe, nutritious food. So they are looking at all types of midday meal schemes, how they can help those midday meal schemes with locally produced inputs. Wastage, this is also important. Yes, very much, because food saved is food created, just like we say in energy. So that also is an important point of their policy. Symbiotic partnership. This is very important for backward and forward integration. There has to be symbiotic partnership. Otherwise, we'll have a situation like the onion crisis, because there is no symbiotic partnership between, or what was experienced recently by the Horticulture Corporation in Belgaum. There is no symbiotic partnership. There is hostility and there is distrust, and there are communication gaps, and then consumers suffer. Then they also aim at producing raw materials conducive for processing and export through integration of research. So they are also focusing. We have a committee under Dr. Irene Furtado, which will go into the R&D. Dovetail policies and programs, all the departments of the state, like animal husbandry is here, Goa meat complex is here. Last time we discussed about mini meat this one processing units and abattoirs, and also same way the West Bengal government is also trying to the dovetail policies and programs of all departments, so that they could converge. Then provide incentives in setting up of food processing industries. So then they are talking about Food Processing Development Council, Sanjeev, in West Bengal. Okay, with these various departments, research institutes and all this. Then they want to simplify and harmonize laws, rules and procedures. Because it's a big state and it's not as accessible as state of Goa, where we have only 380 villages and 45 census towns. So it's very difficult. The government is spread out very thin there, and the district commissioners and all have to do a lot of work. So basically, this is the difficulty which big states experience. Generation of rural employment. This is specifically you will find in West Bengal policy, which is not so much emphasized in Bihar or you see in even Maharashtra policy. Infrastructure and linkages. First is infrastructure, second is linkages. In infrastructure, they say that fixed time frame to provide speedy access to food parks, agri-export zones with the nearest state national highway. That is what I was discussing just now. Marketing centers, nearest airport. The closer is the airport. The closer is the railway station. The closer is the seaport. It is always beneficial for investors, and it is always beneficial for any type of state export promotion policies. So fortunately, Goa is a small state. We have Karwar on one side, we have Marmagao on the other side. We can really do wonders here with integration of all these possibilities. Linkages, they are talking about state level formation of farm growers, cooperatives, crop diversification. Means just don't focus on only one crop, but as per the season, demand and all you go. Now, for the first time in history of Talegaon village, Chinese cabbage are being produced. And they are doing very well. I went there to have a look. Because you know what price they get in market. And it has come really well. One stand I saw in near the St. Michael Church. One small plot, not even 1 acre, but Chinese cabbages can be produced in Goa. That is a good demonstration. So people will learn very fast. Because there is a ready market for Chinese cabbage. They are being imported in Goa today. So same way, we shouldn't put all our eggs in one basket. That is what the policy says there. R&D activities and linkage with university. Dr. Furtado will take note. This is how they have gone. They want a food technology information base in the state, West Bengal government. Then encourage networking of organizations and stakeholders, particularly with the research institutions. So this also we are thinking in Goa it is possible because we are educationally very progressive state, almost 100% literacy. Quality control. This is I found very interesting because other states have not given that much stress as compared to West Bengal policy. Quality control, and I believe that if we at all think of capturing global market with products made in Goa, then we have to emphasize high quality. Absolutely no scope for anyone talking about microbial contamination or unacceptable standards or pesticide residues and all. And that is what we should aim for. So all these hazardous, all these they have mentioned, and I think we can learn from them. Cold chain. Here also it's not very well developed. Only in I think fish processing, Mr. Verekar will be able to tell that some sort of that cold chain support is there. But in other areas, although there may be capacity, as Mr. Bangi was talking, that thousands of tons we can import and process grapes and corn and all, then we have to really look at that type of infrastructural support. So I will not spend more time on this. What I want to say is that other states have spent considerable time in Andhra Pradesh, and this one I will not go into it. I will end by saying that we already have models with us of far larger states with 100 or 500 times larger agro-horticultural base than Goa. What we need to right now have are ideas for incorporation into my proposed mission statement, vision and draft food processing policy for the state and the roadmap. Now, if you look at all these policies and all, it is a standard way of preparing a policy. There is not much of rocket science in it. And all this is possible because that they got best of the data. They are old, means they have been working in these areas for years and years and years, and they have got vast infrastructure in terms of population, support and all that, many universities, hundreds of colleges and all. So they already had a critical mass. Whereas we are making Sri Ganesha or alphabets A, B, C, D, we are taking first tentative steps. But that also gives us an advantage because these people are there behind us. So by doing some sort of analysis of what is already existing and what we can get from the subcommittees, it will be possible for me to come in front of you next month somewhere in the second week when we plan to meet before perhaps the assembly session and discuss now that particular roadmap, mission, vision, statement and draft policy which will be circulated to all members and subcommittee conveners so that you can comment on that, come prepared and then we can finalize the draft policy, mission and roadmap. That's what I have to say on this point number 3 of the agenda. If you have any comments to make, they are most welcome.
Regard to the vision, you said protecting brand Goa. There's been an infringement date of Goa regard to Goa Gutka. Who's going to bell the cat of protecting this brand Goa, which has been served by companies who are not in any way connected to Goa?
No, actually, this is outside the ambit of the framework of this one. This is basically a issue which needs to be resolved by those who are affected through the intervention of the respective courts. It is like, if, because actually we cannot discuss this here, understood? It is coming absolutely outside the purview. What is known as the nomenclatural designation, that is not the aim of this. I am just saying that when you are producing something, now branding a product, tomorrow if someone comes and says Goa mangoes, no law can object to it. The question is, Goa is not a copyrighted name in the eyes of the law. Goa is not a copyrighted name. Goa doesn't, Maharashtra is not a copyrighted name. Like Banda, there are many Bandas in the world. Understood? So, Banda is there also in Malaysia. So, the question is that, are we objecting to something because it is a tobacco product? Or are we objecting because it is manufactured out of Goa and there is a misrepresentation? So that has to be taken through proper channel by the parties who are affected with the appropriate agencies like law department and all, understood? And the government of India, proper authorities are there for that. Then only they will come out with this policy because state of Goa has no policy, I believe. See the place name authority had been, there is a diversion taking place of the subject. Place name authority in Goa was established so that people do not create geographical confusion by naming colonies which are already existing, house, township and colonies. You may have 6 Kripa colonies within a small town. So the postman get confused. Elsewhere in European Union, there are very stringent laws. You can't name anything after anybody. Everything is standardized. One has to apply. Even naming a house, one has to apply and get it from local authority. So we have to basically ask for standardization of toponymy. Toponymy means the science of placing the names. And when our state will have that policy, the best policy in the world is in Estonia. Estonia has a complete act on how to name places, objects, locations and all. Understood? I cannot go to a Miramar beach and say that this is my Marriott Sunset Point. Understood? You have to register. So basically, Mr. Mac, that your concerns are very valid, and I know that you are perhaps concerned because some of the products which we are discussing may also come under the purview of those areas that people would produce it outside Goa and say that this is product of Goa, isn't it? That's what you are trying to say. Fine, that point is well taken, but as far as gutka is concerned, we are not discussing here. Anything else? Otherwise, we'll proceed to the item number 4 on the agenda, that is submission and discussion on interim reports prepared by the subcommittee. I am not going this one. Our HRD committee, that is first committee under my chairmanship, I am collecting first the notes from my committee members. I have got a detailed note from one of our committee members, that is Kasturi Desai, and we'll be holding a meeting now very soon, because I am interested in getting the inputs from other related committees like food safety, R&D, to suggest what type of human resources in FPI we will be developing. As far as my committee's, subcommittee's suggestions for the inclusion in the 2011-12 are concerned, they would be included in due course of time after discussing with the committee members. So let us proceed with the second one, that a Director, Department of Food and Drugs Administration. I would request, if the representative is not present, what they have, what is the progress on this? Is anyone is presenting on behalf of them, development of food safety and technology standards? I think at least a few of the members, Mrs. Shinkre and Dr. Furtado, you are there on the committee, I believe, no? Food safety committee, you are there? No. And Dr. Furtado, you are there. But the representative has left the meeting. I don't know what they have suggested. They said that they have given some report, but I don't know what they have given as interim recommendation. So let me just have a look at it, what they have given. They gave me a copy just now. No, here it is. I have an interim report here. Let me see what they have. Recommendations they have given. Recommendations are here. Building private laboratory infrastructure. So one FDA lab is operating at Bombolin, and they say that private sector should be promoted to make investment in the laboratory. So second recommendation is opportunity for empowering technical skills through identified professional courses in food sectors. This we will take up in our committee, both degree as well as diploma courses in food technology, dairy technology, marine technology would have to be made available within the state. And third, concepts of street food parks in clusters. This is a very important suggestion. Street food parks in clusters. So they say that we have to promote these street food parks in clusters. Concept of street food carts could be envisaged in major cities. There is a separate scheme of Government of India, but basically what I feel is that unless there is the local municipal laws, corporation laws, first have to declare a street as a hawker street or hawker this one, only then this is possible. And lastly, manpower empowering centers they have envisaged. This is their last this one. So I will take it on record, Steno may record it, that in absence of representative of FDA who had to leave for another meeting, the interim report of the subcommittee constituted on development of food safety and testing standard has been placed and be part of the record of this meeting. So next, I would request, you have any suggestions on this means as far as food safety, because if from dairy sector, from teaching and research and development, if anything is there which you feel very strongly government should do within next 1 year, then there is still time for us to deliberate on that point. Food safety involves, that notification we are waiting, that notification is important, then infrastructure has to be created, a laboratory has to come, international standard, safety lab, people will have to be trained. All these points we had actually discussed for some time in the last meeting. Right now we want some suggestions for the coming financial year. From Agriculture Department, any suggestion? Or next year in this food safety area, wherever you feel fruits, fresh fruits.
The last 3 years we have been getting from the government. So we are just...
No, I mean to say that one of my observations, with due respect to your this one, that I was a small player behind Goa Nurseries Act, but I am very unhappy the way, that illicit this one are being dumped in Goa. I mean, absolutely without nursery certificate. various types of ornamental plants, fruit plants are dumped in Goa. You know, white flies.
The act doesn't have to be.
No, that's why. Why don't you move an amendment? I suggested. Satish Tendulkar was very this one. You know that minister said, you please send me a note. I would like you to immediately take up the reform on that, and you please put it in this coming budget session. It is chairman's suggestion. You understood, no? It is your and my interest that we do not get infected plants. You know how mites came to go. White fly menace, water icing, salvinia, fischia, all these are not creations of birds. Anybody is free to import and sell by roadside any type of planting material in Goa. Whether chiku plant, Goa plant, we don't even inspect it for fungal pathogen, microbial pathogen. There is no safety net on the border, check post. Even Portuguese were more stringent. They used to fumigate even clothing of the bedding of the people coming from steamer, so that we don't import pathogens from other ports in Goa. You may be knowing. So we have suddenly relaxed the standards on check post. It's not question of funding. It is question of, you say no teeth. They will give us tiger teeth. So you have the most. You can look into other Maharashtra and other acts and see what they have provided. We do not want local nursery owners to suffer. Neither we want this type of trade which goes near Santa Cruz, you have seen near the bypass. And carts. People are attracted to the 10, 20 rupees, they can bargain also. But I don't think Nursery Act's purpose was that. And it will affect our backward integration. If spurious, propagated material, fruits and vegetable sector is broad, you may have some control on quarantine of seeds, packet seeds, Indo-American hybrids and all, there they are certified. You have a seed committee also, state level. But my humble suggestion to the state government in public interest and interest of ecology, environment and food processing industries, backward integration. If we at all want to keep away some of these pathogens and potential diseases and reduce morbidity and mortality of yielding plants, then we must have the safety net, the security net for our farmers and horticulturists. So that they shouldn't say that supariso disease कर्नाटकातल्यान आयलो, माडाचो डिसीज केरळातल्यान आयलो, आनी खंयचो कसो आयलो. So please provide for the teeth. At least that you can do during the budget session. See, the government is all for that, but they say that the department has not done homework. How it should be confiscated? I had suggested to Mr. Joshi that he should compost it. I said, don't have a sentimental attachment to some beautiful flower and all. Compost it, make it into fertilizer. Confiscate, compost. Put fines. So that nobody will sell anything which is not certified as per national whatever standards and without registration and certification. Nobody, even in exhibitions inside the halls. Either our own people or people who come from outside Goa. Those fly-by-night contractors. They are finishing Goa's biological security. In fact, I can tell you, I told also in several meetings, there is a invisible biological warfare going on in Goa. Eupatorium, Parthenium, it is finishing Goa. Everywhere you can see roadside Eupatorium. Why? Because it can completely finish the biodiversity of state of Goa. If this type of spurious material is continuously dumped along roadside and people start planting in their gardens, then only we will be sitting as a paradise for pathogens. So our entire planning will go into doldrums. So I am cautioning you, government, opposition is all for it. It will be unanimously passed. Only you move the amendment, we can have a discussion also, I can attend. But you get best practices from most. Kerala perhaps may have a policy like that, Karnataka. Look into it. Ask the Secretary of Agriculture will be able to get, and I think you should work immediately so that in this budget session amendment can be moved and passed to give you teeth. So the agricultural designated officer authority will be identified, so that we have the satisfaction that we get the best of the chiku, pineapple plants, and people are absolutely assured that they are certified. Right now it's not happening, as you know. So anybody can go to Bangalore, get a tempo load of whatever they want to plant, and they can finish us. Because it's all infected, and if viruses, I am terribly scared if she knows bunchit of virus can finish your entire Cavendish banana plantation, because they are clones. Understood? So same way you should also also have a policy on transgenics. This is also my suggestion. Please take down. The chairman on behalf of the committee requested the representative of Director of Agriculture to clearly send a note, clearly spelling out the department's policy on transgenic food crops to be researched, developed, to be researched, developed, or marketed or sold or processed in Goa, with or without collaboration, with or without collaboration of government or private sector. Because Kerala has declared itself as transgenic free state. We see the message is loud and clear. We cannot have both. We cannot claim to be organically branded state at the same time transgenic state. Understood? Because Europe has rejected transgenic foods. Transgenic cotton is a different ball game together because it's not edible. But transgenic brinjals, transgenic chilies, actually you know that is a very risky area where actually not much information is there with the government right now. So the committee has specifically mentioned that the agriculture department is the stakeholder in that area. They should keep a watch over this. The germ plant which is being pirated by multinational companies and given to multinationals for research, because it belongs to the people of Goa. The Talegaon brinjal, Sakasen brinjal, they belong to the people of Goa. They have developed it. They are not compensated. The state government has no role to play. They will develop the brinjals and they will have money and profits. So, other states like Kerala have taken a proactive position on transgenics. So, this has escaped my mind, but once we are clear on that, research can go on, no problem with research, but we cannot say that Goa is doing, because then suddenly our brand identity will come down. They say Goa, everything goes. They say organic cashew, they also do transgenic brinjal, transgenic chilies, transgenic mango. What is going on? It's a confused state. We have no clarity. Understood? So one, by amending the 1997 Goa Fruits and Flowers Ornamental Nurseries Act, you will be providing a lot of support and strength for this committee's effort to strengthen the backward integration. You agree with that?
Yeah.
And by taking a studied stance on your approach, which you are departmentally have to discuss on transgenics, food crops, I am not talking about cotton and other things. You will be also giving us some official inputs, which committee will study and consider. Is that clear? Okay, thank you very much. So let us go to Mr. Sahakari, would you like to, तुम्ही कितें उलोवंक सोदता हाजेर तुमची एक कमिटी केल्या आमी कोऑपरेटिव्ह सहकार क्षेत्र शेतकऱ्यांचे वेगवेगळे ल्हान ल्हान मंडळां कॉटेज इंडस्ट्रीज आणि स्वयं सहाय्य ग्रुप तुमकां कितें अडचणी आसात किंवा सद्या पुरते सांगपाचें जालें जाल्यार 2 पॉयंट्स आमचे कडेन हांगा आसात. एक हो पॉयंट आसा तो तुम्ही एखादो रिपोर्ट जर ह्या संदर्भात प्रिपेअर केला आयज मेरेन जाल्यार तो तुमच्यान दिवपाक जाता किंवा तुम्ही रिपोर्ट प्रिपेअर करूंक ना पूण तुमचे कडेन मुद्दे आसात ते मुद्दे जाल्यार मांडपाक जाता आयच्यान. ना हांगा खंयची तरी एक चेअरमॅन हो सॉरी हो नरेंद्र सावयकर आसा दिसता. सो आय एम सॉरी टू इन्फॉर्म दॅट मिस्टर सावयकर वन ऑफ द रिलेटिव्ह एक्सपायर्ड अँड ही एक्सक्यूज हिमसेल्फ. So please take down that Mr. Narendra Savikar sent a message, the chairman of the third committee, Goa, this one, Cooperative Sector Committee, that he would be unable to attend the meeting on account of some problem. The department means contacted to get the required report and suggestions. Now let us turn to development of alcoholic beverages, packaged drinking water and aerated soft drinks, on which some 5-6 members are there. Mr. Magwas, we would like to listen to you on specifically on this point, that whether any interim report you have prepared, and as also number 5, what can be done during the next state budget. 2 points.
I've sent you a report by email, sir.
No, I have not received it, unfortunately.
A day late after the 8th deadline.
Now you can give the salient aspects.
Okay, I'll just give a brief, sir. Informally, we met stakeholders of the beverage drinking industry as well as the packaged industry, sir. The main...
Could you get in touch with Prince Drinks and Angel?
Sir, yeah,
Good. because unfortunately I didn't have the numbers with me.
Yeah.
And they were supposed to get, because they are fairly known to, तुमका IDCच्या लोकांना कल्पना आसा न्ही, गोविंद देसाई एंजल करता उत्पादन आणि दुसरो प्रिन्स ड्रिंक्स, ते कित्याक तुमचे कडेन जे आसा ते सगळे तांकां दिवपाचे. So please proceed.
Yeah. Both these industries are fighting a very unique situation, sir. The painting industry is Swadeshi company fighting the Videshi, and it's been successful in it. And the reason why we are on our knees is manifested because of the shortage of harvest, cashew harvest, sir.
Cashew apples.
Cashew apples. So our Department of Agriculture and Horticulture have got brilliant schemes, but for some reason they are not translating into effective output. I touched base with a farmer in Mangalore just a couple of days after reading a report in a local newspaper, and he's done an optimum, effective, high productivity this for the cashew apple. So I've invited him to Goa, sir. So I'll take some input from him and maybe use that as a model and to add synergy to the Department of Agriculture as well as the Horticulture Department.
You want any cooperation in this regard
Yeah.
from Agriculture Department?
Yeah, I would like to have somebody, who is a synergy source who I can meet regularly and exchange thoughts and points, because
So I think one of the major landmarks under cashew cultivation is under Forest Development Corporation.
Correct.
And there is no rejuvenation of cashew orchards there. There is absolute no
Yield is very low.
It is very low. And they are not planting because there is some dichotomy between the
No, they have
forest
given
act
it
and the horticulture.
They have given, the cooperation is there, there's a forest cooperation, they have taken it up, they have taken up, given it. They have taken about 500 hectares this year.
It's only on paper, nothing has come.
Nothing is done.
Our production has gone down.
So not only product, in the short term production will go down, but in the long term, if there is rejuvenation, if there is more plantation, and this cannot be done by horticulture, it's my opinion. And then at the end of the year auctioned up. Nobody looks after those plants. The entire upkeep plantation should be auctioned for say 10 years, 15 years or whatever. Otherwise it is pointless.
And second thing is,
Who will plant?
technically also we have to see, stem borers recently within these 4-5 years is having a very devastating effect on the plantation. Around 2% of plants are lost by the farmers, by stem borers. Because earlier BSC was to be used, which is now banned. So whatever department suggests, it has zero effect. Even myself, I used to control 100% plants with the BSC or something. I cannot. Forget about the layman farmer. It's not at all possible. In some parts, it is around 10% plants are lost in the year.
And even if we take all private cashew orchards into consideration, the area with Forest Development Corporation far outstrips this.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they are holding. They are the biggest cashew farmers. If they are not doing it, then you forget about your cashew apple. Where will get your cashew apple
Some
from?
are very drastic.
But the issue is quality.
I think that we should call them. They should be part of this committee and tell
Please,
us.
subcommittee should officially invite, please, those people should attend your subcommittee meetings.
The chairman
Now,
of horticulture.
Mr. Beck was, the member convener that would direct or rather request.
So we'll incorporate him as a member of the committee of Forest Development Corporation. Let him come to our meetings also.
See, sir, till last year, cashew is the number 1 crop in Goa, leaving behind all other crops. Cashew's turnover is around 123 crores per annum.
See, I don't wish to talk on cashew now in this forum. After attending at least 12 seminars and workshops on cashew mission, Reliance proposal to develop a 9,000 hectares estate, all that we have heard, so I don't want to waste your time. We know exactly what is to be done, but this is not a proper forum to discuss it. I can send my ideas to MACWAS. Understood. Backward integration means, okay, it's like this. You have to have a Pepsi approach. Goa Penny Bottlers Association has to strike a deal with those people who have marginal lands in Sindhudurga, in North Canara, in Khanapur and other places, where it has been proven that cashew grows well, because cashew is a plant which is very dynamic. It was brought and introduced by the Portuguese to control hill slopes soil erosion, because lot of yearwood was being cut and lot of timber was being felled for their ships, and that led to massive sedimentation in the rivers. So to control it, they found that cashew on slopes can stabilize the slippery areas. And then the other products were discovered in the 17th, 18th century. That is the history, cultural history of cashew, economic history of cashew. As far as Brazilian experience is concerned, unless there is community level participation right now, just like mango is grown as a hobby sort of. It's not on commercial scale. Maybe 2-3 people may be there, understood Chaugules or maybe Desh Prabhu or some other people. 3 or 4 you can bring, where you can actually show a dedicated cashew or mango orchard. Why I suggest is your subcommittee can also look into the area of backward integration, entering into a long-term MOU with price support. Government will also throw its might, so that assured price is given to cashew cultivator. You will only look after cashew, and you will give, following Pepsi model or Kisan model, or so many models are there, that everything, R&D, everything is given through agriculture universities. There is a cashew research board also in Puttur. They know about it. Agriculture department is a catalyst basically. They cannot teach you really in this one. So my suggestion is that that is possible. You have to give a requirement. So you need apples. If there are problems of interstate transport of cashew, and then government of Goa, Maharashtra, Karnataka will a tripartite agreement. Understood, no? Then it will solve the issues. All the secretaries of agriculture will sit and sign an agreement that permitting the interstate transport of cashew. If there are barriers for importing, that can also be taken care of. But Maharashtra has itself now a plan for making various wines and other things, Gagan Krishi Vidyapit. So this one is, you have to come out for the cashew crushing season. What is the shortfall between demand and supply? Over a period of 2 years to 5 years, we have to envisage a situation where there is surplus cashew for bottling. And I believe that we have selected some very good strains. I had 24 samples in Goa University which we analyzed for sugar content, acidity and fermentability. And we found that, I have the data with me unpublished, that the elliptical, or rather the cylindrical, I don't know what shape you call it, that yellow one with thin skin is the best one for fermentation, not the red one. The red one is bitter and it is more phenolics we found. So that strain we have to further increase its yield. The yellow cashew, yellow apple, yellow sweet apple, that gave us unit wise, biomass wise, the high alcohol production in our laboratory experiment of 5 liters. I made the so-called bioethanol from cashew also, and we made wines also from cashew, but on 5 liters scale, experimental, by tasting various types of fruits, small one, big one. So I believe that you have to indicate from your experience, because right now I found that Gurudat Bhaktas, this one, everything, red, cashew, everything is mixed and fermented. That lowers your yield. So technically you are taking, in terms of biomass, lot of cashew, but actually in terms of primary fermentation, very little of that is converted into your ethanol.
So what you're saying is benchmark which is almost Ethiopian, sir. We would like to reach that state, sir, for reaching. But as of now, because of the shortfall of fruit, like the Maharashtra, I'll give you an example, sir. Maharashtra, the farmers or winemakers do not need to compromise on their input because they've got sufficient of
land.
Great. So in Goa we have another situation. Demand is there, but Fenina, honey, when there is shortfall of Feni, there are ideas which are stirred across the border that but now we have drawn a line on that it's a brand of ours. Now after building these borders of brand Feni, we need to build up our own infrastructure, and for that synergy between the farmers' interest of like the Kamdenu scheme, sir, of daily.
So that is what you are supposed to suggest, because the corporation and that will go long.
Yeah, I sent you a list on that. That's one of the points. And another point was fuel is the main source of for the bottle distillation process.
Or you mean to say small distillers? Small distillers,
Small distillers.
4,000 steels.
So,
Yeah, which use firewood.
right. So as we are going greener over the years, it would be sourcing of this fuel, natural fuel, will be a conflict of interest. So we need to have a plan for it.
Plan means they have to go all for biogas because the
Biogas.
cashew apple waste can generate enough energy to keep your distillation unit functional. Only the economies you have to work on. Biogas is best. Cashew apples produce some of the finest biogas. So if we come out with the appropriate design of a particular cubic meter biogas, from that biogas you can have the boiler which can give your why they should go for fuel. Of course, if research polytechnic person is there. तुम्ही सांगा मस्के साहेब की त्यांना कॅशूसाठी बॉयलर पाहिजे त्याच्यातून बायोगॅस जनरेट करून बॉयलर चालवायचं असेल तर किती किती त्यांना कुठून ते कावडन स्लरी अँड ऑल कॅशू ॲपल वेस्ट ते सगळं तिथे पडलेलं असतं आफ्टर क्रशिंग द कॅशू दॅट दे जस्ट डिस्पोज इट ऑफ आय डोंट थिंक दॅट
They
इज
use it as fuel.
They are using it as fuel
They try it and use
after
it.
that, but not everywhere I have seen.
Almost everywhere in North Goa they are using.
What is your
My
experience?
observation.
It's not, optimum utility of it is not there.
Yeah, that is what I found also. We were all trying to convince them that that can be done, but few are doing it.
Sir, Director of Science and Technology had suggested some time ago to have a pilot project
Pilot product.
to make it a, to make, to have a model, to have a, so that every farmer can have optimal utility of their produce as well as in terms of high growth.
No, what we need, Mac, is basically, that we need to know the supply chain, full supply chain. Means in this entire cashew business, right from the seed or the germ plasm up to your finished branded product, export quality product, you need to put in that subcommittee. A detailed supply chain, what exactly is the supply chain and whether there are constraints in value addition in this supply chain, and all types of constraints. Legal constraint, excise department, this one, then as you said that technical constraint, fuel problems, supply constraint like good quality cashew for fermentation, primary fermentation. Because you see, there are two, organized sector and unorganized sector. There are two aspects. So we are looking at all sectors, not only the Feni bottlers and distillers, everyone who is engaged in Feni production. You may take there for further blending and this, that's not a problem. But what we need to say is that how to keep the existing people in business. In addition to that, increase capacities for that bottle Feni and further grading, branding, export quality. This one, those some of these you might have identified, but there are many which we need to identify right across the supply chain till it comes to the market or exported. So that picture you should be able to give us. Identify requirements also. This is the area where nobody has looked, like you pointed out. Production and supply, means demand supply, this one issue, which is very important. And I think it will not easily get solved now. With many other people investing in value addition also, other states. Kerala, if it goes, then Kerala will take even Karnataka supply. And then Goa, I mean, it's not possible to have containers from Vietnam or Kenya and Tanzania of apples coming to Marwar port and then you import those cashew apples and I do not envisage such type of possibility. It's not cost effective.
Anik point, auction system.
Auction, yeah.
Every year we have an auction system.
Yes.
So the small time farmer, because of his uncertainty of he not getting the auction the next year, so his commitment to invest in his logistics is not very high. So auction system, of course, I co-op with some farmers, and this is the feedback I got. ताका 2-3 वर्सांचे तरी एटलीस्ट अश्युरन्स आसूंक जाय तेन्ना ते मागीर they are likely to put in more investment and this. So there's a little loose end on that auction system.
No, this I think only possible if we establish clusters, cooperative basis. Because right now it has become a free-for-all private entrepreneurship, isn't it? So I think that was the earlier approach also when Vivek Rai was Agriculture Secretary. And Rakesh Mehta also had mooted that he said that Cashew Development Corporation or Forest Development Corporation should establish such type of cluster so that for 3 to 5 years they would manage the plantation. They will have a definite stake in that because I know that I may not get next year. Understood? So there are many social conflicts also like this. What you say is absolutely right. Understood? Because 1 year is short, so he will have to have his profit within a 1 year. Next year there is no guarantee that he will get the auction, isn't it? That is the fear. Yeah.
But then if they move to the sugar factory, cooperative sugar factory model,
Yeah, what is it?
basically it's the farmers cooperative that owns the factory. Instead of each one bidding for the auction, it's a cluster of farmers.
Yeah,
Distilling. just like the sector, sugar factory.
They are long-term stay.
Then they go permanent, not long term. As long as they are farmers in that
Permanent.
activity, they are permanent. It's not 3 years or 5 years, it's forever.
So they are permanent members, you will be saying this. So what are you
Today,
suggesting?
the biggest amount of apple coming into Pedne,
Yeah.
for example, is coming out all the way from Chandigarh. A lot more than Pedne Taluka can produce. And from Kankoli and up to as far as there.
As long as
Because
it's
we don't have enough
cost-effective,
production.
comes in. If the distance is too much, Maggie, it's not worth it.
If the farmer is not being motivated because of the short-term commitment that he has, he's getting. The only way to do it is probably follow the sugar factory model.
And what, would you
Every
say-
sugar factory is basically set up
Cooperative.
on the basis of a co-op
Okay,
with a catchment or a dependence area. They have a catchment of 100, 200, 500 farmers. So instead of this individual displaying on his
Correct.
flow, if there is a co-op distillery, maybe a cluster of 4 villages or 3 villages.
Yeah, and so my personal hero is Dr. Kurian, Dr. Amol Fenson. I was met him. So something of this kind, which would be of assent to the stakeholder.
What you can suggest is, in this year's financial year, government can at least have one model cluster of cashew farmers with good incentives and subsidies. We have to make it successful, like there are small.
Cashew clusters have come up mostly in Kerala and some part of Sangatal, even in Kondala.
आदर्श सोसायटी प्रकाश पिंपळची असं
They
ताणी
are doing
केलं.
very nice work.
That's for organic.
Yeah. They have seen very good and they are getting good prices also.
डिस्टिलेशनान गेल्या काय वाटतं? डिस्टिलेशनान गेल्या.
Distillation त्यांना
For the seed part, for the seed part.
There are
not
no
for the-
buyers.
No, that's what, instead of having buyers, let them have their own distilling skill.
Yeah, then somebody has to reach, no, for the.
They are there, cashew.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another issue, sir. The stakeholder base is so large. As of now, we know that they are well intentioned and we like to protect everyone's interest. But to motivate them to come under an umbrella is a task. It's a catch-22 situation of too many cooks will have too many questions. Because I remember when we started this journey of GIS, there were a lot of cynics and skeptics. To which idea couldn't surprise that kind of thing. So,
Sir, my suggestion was, at least for this year, we can start with the other society chairman, with that society. It is a well-organized group in fact, compared to all other groups in Goa. There are
You
a lot of-
please communicate both of you.
Yeah.
would you share with me?
Yes, definitely.
Thank you.
See, this is the problem. Means lots of good things are happening in Goa, but many a times we,
Yeah, no coordination.
yeah, correct. So because those who are in production, though hardly talk to marketing. Those who are organized production, what I mean to say, all stakeholders are there. I know their model also. I think as far as coconut chili, they successful as
Yeah.
chili, ato they
Coconut chili.
mostly tribals.
So I can say something.
Yeah.
So NABARD promotes the self-help groups as well as like farmers clubs. So this year we have promoted around 22 farmers clubs.
All over Goa.
Within now
This year
and
means
so
year-
66 is the cumulative total as on date.
60.
And 66 farmers clubs,
Hmm.
both north and south. And we also promote self-help groups, and we have about 5,026 SHGs. But only 2,607 have a credit linked to the bank.
No, the
Yeah,
point that we are discussing here is simple.
yeah.
In what way your farmers clubs and all could contribute to situation where we can meet the gap between demand and supply of cashew? Or it is just a training forum, workshop, seminar, dalo, kugri and all those type of things. And distribution of saplings, seedlings, speeches by politicians, ministers, sarpanchas and then forget. What is it? What is it?
So
Means,
we have this capacity building programs.
no, that is fine, but now you answer this question. Now suppose you have in cashew dominated areas, say Pernem is major, Sangam, Pernem, these are areas which depend on cashew.
Yeah.
Sangam hardly left now because of mining, heavy mining. Kankona is still intact. Pednem is doing very well because there is very marginal mining. Absolutely negligible, you can say. But now whatever you are talking, his concern is this. How those farmers, or he is also saying the same thing. He said, okay, some of his cashew cooperative members are also members of your farm clubs. His concern is how you could make them raise production and give them assured supply at a remunerative price, at which they can be able to crush it and produce their product. This handholding has to take place. Merely means that farmers club means it is your target given by government of India. Every state you have to have farmers clubs and all. Are they going to add to our production capacity? Then what is the proof? You give me a farmers club and you show me all the farmers took these crops 5 years back. After they become members of your farm clubs, they are taking these crops. This was their old yield. This is their new yield. This is the difference positive. You have any statistics on that?
But the activities of the farmers clubs are different.
No, activity means, see, we are not discussing here farmers education or farm education because the Director of Agriculture has a very intensive program, isn't it, all of at Farmers Training Center? I have been also part of their program and they have lots of facilities also. I think zonal agriculture officers also continuously there is some activity, cashew grafting, ICR also has active programs. So it is not, but what is the ultimate aim? Raise yield, raise production, make surplus after selling to market at remunerative prices so that there are no losses. So, to what extent you have been successful in raising yield and productivity?
So one of this is actually Shriram Farmers Club, sir, which is actually supported by NABARD.
No, that we heard last time and they are only dealing with rice. We are not discussing rice because Goa is not place anywhere in India to discuss rice production.
Rice and also
Our strengths are plantation crops like erica, cashew, mango, banana, pineapple, chilies. I can give a big list, but basically these are the top. Coconut, you know that almost 15 million coconuts we produce, 150 million. So there is a shortfall because, so basically question is, you are having mental satisfaction of showing us statistics. He is interested in knowing whether any of these farmers club have the capacity to give him assured supply of high quality cashew apples. Otherwise, it is just a talk that you have farmers clubs. Farmer clubs members have to come forward and say that, sir, आमच्या हातून बेंगुळला 4 varieties of yield 15 kilo per available tree वेल्यान आमी because of the NABARD help and credit and training and all we have raised it to 25 kg per tree. Has that happened? Has that happened? Yes or no? No. So that is what you should aim for in Goa. That should be the real mandate. Otherwise, that these become repetitive activities also. They also have a program, ICR has a program, university has a program under NSS. So we are doing programs, but we are not looking at the fundamental questions of meeting the gap between demand and supply. Because food processing we can think only when surpluses are available. Domestic surpluses or imported surpluses. Means someone has surplus in Khanapur, Dandeli, they can sell in Goa. His problem is, he is depending on now Sindhudurga, I think. That is what we are talking. And he is not talking about farmers club or eco clubs or whatever clubs in Sindhudurga. He is talking about success story of Adarsh Krishi Vikas Society in KPM, who are now brought together thousands of those tribals and other people for selling their produce without middlemen, isn't it?
Yes.
So all of them are shareholders in that and they get the dividends and I think other things also.
Premium price they get.
Premium price they get and they are cushioned also against market forces. I think you got some support price for erica nut, you got support price from coconut also, no, government is giving. Yeah, also they got. So basically I think the NABARD should think, if you are going to give some suggestion, my suggestion is that whatever that is happening all over India, please do not try to photostatically apply it to Goa. Because all India, because there are big farmers club and this, we want here, we are a small state where there are basic constraints on good, highly fertile agricultural, horticultural lands. Because land is at premium price. To be very frank with you, we have roughly now 150,000 hectares of farmland left. 150,000 hectares. After you remove all wildlife sanctuaries, already settled area under industrial estate, area under military, area under ports, towns, what is left? So within now something like 150,000 hectares area, you have to now give us an integrated plan that for cashew we can do this, for mango we can do this, our farmers club can do this to raise productivity. See, I had talked to MS Swaminathan on these things and I think he is not with you on these lines. He said that our whole approach has to be changed. We have to go at the micro level and work with the Gram Sabhas, village panchayat level, and we have to involve them that, okay, these are the lands, these crops you take, markets needs these crops, Horticulture Corporation is doing it, some area, I think anybody is there from Horticulture Corporation today? I think Orlando is not there, it's busy. So, They are doing on some scale, they are doing with subsidies, they are doing it, but something is better than nothing. Megawaz's problem is tomorrow a stage will come that there will not be cashew apple, they will have to stop their production. They can't depend on anything. That stage should not come after 3-4 years because of suppose there is a disease, climate change, these factors we are not discussing. You know, suddenly it can wipe out. Like China's wheat crop people are discussing because suddenly wheat prices will rise up in the world market. One country's wheat crop will affect the food security of whole world. That is the picture today in the globalized market. So same way, NABARD, our minimum expectation is, if rice experiment in Chorao is successful, you take a cashew experiment for him. Is it possible? You have to talk to him and see what are his aspirations. So same way, I think you should talk to Mr. Sarkari also. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, on finish, I think I won't take too much of time of everyone. So as the other area of focus was packaged drinking water. And
Very much, very important.
Yeah.
That's what we are telling you.
Yeah, this is again industry which our consumer base in among Indians we carry a colonial hangover. Whatever is made by the white man is preferred then made by the brown man. So this industry is on the receiving end on this consumer perception factor. So they are fighting a lot of areas like grey market stocks coming of multinational brands across the border without paying the duty of water and electricity. This is one point rate grey market. This is not my idea, but that was and this is a case study of where liberalization has failed because it has not left any protection for the local Swadeshi industry, as they say. So they were urging that the state needs to give them more support because it actually builds up a lot of employment in villages.
Sorry to interrupt you, but what is the position of this bottled water market in Goa as per your statistics? Bottled water like Aquafina or Bisleri, big brands as well as the other brands like Sakar Gel and all those. What is the position? How many brands are being produced in Goa? How many are imported in Goa and repackaged or sold? How many do exist within industrial units, industrial estates? What is the information? These you have to supply because they will have to work on these figures. So that you mean to say that there is a sector which is branded and multinational. They are outsourcing, they are bottling maybe or borewell water or the PWD water and they are giving the ionization UV treatment and sending it under this, selling it under brand this one. Whereas there are small players also, medium scale players, Sakar Gel and all, who are facing problems because of dumping, you say. It is dumping.
Another very interesting, good point of the industry, like the thing, there's a lot of, in spite of the competition between the small players, there is a camaraderie, which is unfortunately there is not in the cashew nut industry. So these are the points. I'll send you sharper details on the mail.
No, you please ask Mr. Srinethra because you need to get us alcoholic beverages statistics also. Means in the subcommittee report before 15th April, you have to think of that. The input will come from them because the projection has to be spread across these sectors. One sector, as I told you, that not only feeding but alcoholic beverages, there are big, huge players like you discussed about Vijay Mallya Macro. That is not important. We have to look at our existing, that capacity here, as also those who are small scale people, understood, who are working in alcoholic beverages area, wines, many other brands. We don't have any specific details such as we only have the names of companies like Arlen Breweries, we have McDowell's, and few more, Real, understood.
So I must tell you something. In Haryana, there's a company who is making wine out of lychee and of mangoes. They approached us a few days ago for distribution. So this kind of school of thought needs to be stirred among our horticulturists.
So 3 areas we have given you. What about aerated soft drinks?
Yeah, this is clubbed. I was not able to meet too many of them. I met the gentleman from Dal as well as from Prince.
Sham Naik, yeah.
This is a situation of logistics and tax, and their strengths are within villages. So,
Yeah, I know.
so they basically want more state support.
Like what?
It's a very ambiguous term, but those details, please send this also. I'll send you by mail.
So for soft drink producers, manufacturers means basically where local employment is there, like Prince Drinks, Angel, mostly locally people are employed. The government will compassionately consider some incentives because they have to stay. There was a report sometimes that they are being thrown out of this industry because of heavy this one economies of scale by branded Pepsi and all those, And they have powerful advertisement also. Like Angel is doing with Varsha Usgaonkar and some others this one, but it's not really taking off in many areas. Means they have restricted clientele. Whereas there are many small scale players. Right? We don't. They may be having the list of bottlers. So we don't want them to go out of the job. Provided they give quality product which is certified to be safe. This is essential because they can't just pack and sell anything, and people shouldn't fall sick. Bacterial contamination, unpermissible colors. So some branding, ISI, BS, some branding has to be there. So provided they have obtained all licenses, permissions, we have to think of the survival in the future of these small scale aerated soft drinks producers of Goa, including soda, bottlers, because they are also part and parcel of the food industry. And Government of India considers this under this single category, aerated soft drinks. So you may take some more time, but let us know from them immediately what exactly reliefs they would seek in the coming.
2 points on it which they highlighted on it. It's very ambiguous, but lack of finance to give out schemes compared to multinational companies. Then high central excise tax compared to other commodities restricts the future growth. High VAT taxes compared to other commodities.
High what? VAT?
VAT, yeah. I'll dwell on this and send you.
Soft drinks. Soft drinks.
Lack of, again, this is ambiguous without the shop. Lack of government support. So I'll gather more inputs and send it to you.
Okay, fine. So anything you have to add? What is the wish list for this budget 11-12? Any specific suggestion on behalf of
Sir, I believe that
any producers?
Yeah, sir, I believe that every department of the state of Goa, including tourism, industries, should be a well-wisher synergy source of the asset of Goa. Tourism